Virgo season is upon us. Hello, beautiful people. Life can be a challenge, but at least we have each other. Yes, the sun will be transiting through the sign of Virgo from August 23rd through September 23rd. And during that 4-week period, 3 planets, including Mercury, will be going retrograde, along with some other intense planetary shifts. So in this video, I'll be going over what these energetic shifts mean for your individual sign. And by the way, thank you so much to all of you that have become members. And if any of you are interested in becoming a member, where you can get access to the weekly Magic of the Moon videos and other exclusive perks, just hit that join button next to the subscribe button. Okay, no more wasting time. Let's go. Virgo season will begin when the sun enters Virgo on Wednesday, August 23rd at 9:01 a.m. Universal Time, which will be at 2:01 a.m. if you are on Pacific Time, 5:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and for those of you that are in the Southern Hemisphere, this will be at 7:01 p.m. in Sydney, Australia, and 11:01 a.m. in Johannesburg, South Africa. So let's find out the best way to make the most of this Virgo sun energy. Virgo is a mutable energy, so when it comes to manifesting, Virgo season is a time for adapting and innovating. Virgos are known for their practicality, their work ethic, and their willingness to embrace improvement. So let's celebrate all of those industrious Virgos out there as we all use the power of Virgo season to honestly identify where positive change can be made and then take the necessary actions to create lasting change. Happy Virgo season. Now that you know the best way to harness the power of Virgo season, let's see what this Virgo season will mean for your individual sign. Okay, my powerful Aries, when the sun shifts into Virgo for you, this will be in your 6th house. So Aries, this is that time of year where your health and what it is that you do on a day-to-day basis comes into play. We are well into the second half of the year now, and it will be very important to make any necessary changes to your daily schedule when it comes to implementing the habits necessary to manifest the vision that you have for yourself this year. So if there is anything in terms of a habit or a daily activity that you've been wanting to change and replace with a new habit or activity that's much more supportive of your vision, just know that now is the time to do so, Aries. Also, if there's anything health-wise that you have been ignoring, it is likely that it could really become a problem during this Virgo season. And that is not to scare you. The 6th house sun transit is also a time of healing. So the good news is if you take the time to tend to any health issues that you might be having, you should have a positive outcome in terms of resolution and getting yourself on the other side of whatever this issue is, so that way you can feel healthy and energized as you move forward into the remainder of 2023. Now on August 23rd, the same day the sun goes into Virgo, we have Mercury going retrograde in Virgo, which will also be in your 6th house, and it will be in retrograde until September 15th. So this is actually going to be very helpful in terms of helping you to know exactly what changes that you do need to make when it comes to your daily schedule and your health, Aries. This Mercury retrograde energy could bring up some issues with your professional world, and if and when it does, look at this as a gift from the universe, because it will help you to identify what it is that you want and what it is that you need to change and let go of in order to get what you want. So if you find yourself stressed out about work or having disagreements or conflicts with people at work, this will be the opening to resolution and change, Aries. So embrace this opportunity. Now, the stress of these things coming up could also assist in bringing any health issues to the forefront. So Mercury is going to help also when it comes to identifying areas of your personal health that need tending to as well. So Mercury retrograde for you, Aries, is going to be a challenging transit, but if you use it as insight, it can really be helpful in identifying the areas of your life that need transformation in order to bring you the fulfillment that you deserve. Now on August 27th, Mars will be entering Libra, which will be in your 7th house. So Aries, this indicates that you will do best working in a partnership when it comes to achieving your goals, which may be a bit of a different dynamic for you because you are used to doing things on your own. So if an opportunity comes up to either ask for help or an opportunity to work with someone on a project comes up, take it, because it will prove to be very helpful in moving you forward towards the vision that you have for yourself. Then on August 28th, we have Uranus going retrograde in Taurus, which will be in your 2nd house. And this may bring up some financial struggles, Aries, but just know this is to assist you in seeing that you can actually do very well with less than you thought. And this doesn't mean that money isn't coming your way eventually. It just means that this might be a phase where you will have to budget or make sure that your relationship with money is one where fear or lack is not at the root of your feelings. And instead, you have a certainty at the root of your feeling that you will always have exactly what it is that you need. And as long as you trust that feeling moving forward, you will begin to manifest a stronger relationship with wealth. So letting go of fear when it comes to your finances and budgeting during Virgo season is your theme, Aries, for this Uranus retrograde. Then on August 30th, we have the full moon in Pisces, which I will be doing a separate video for, so keep an eye out for that. And that will then take us to September 4th, where we have the third planet that's going retrograde, which is going to be Jupiter, which goes retrograde in Taurus, and it will also be in your second house. And this is going to give you the opportunity to tap into your talents, Aries. This will be a time where you can make your own financial luck if you focus less on lack, like we talked about earlier, and more on that part of you that believes that there is always a way. So if you find yourself frustrated during this time when it comes to your financial situation, just know that the more you focus on finding a way to utilize your talents, the more you will use this retrograde phase for exactly what it is that you're meant to do, which is open new doors of opportunity for yourself by tapping into a part of yourself that you haven't used for a while or that you've been afraid to tap into. So let your hidden talents out, Aries. You will be surprised where they will take you, which brings us to the final big transit of Virgo season, which is going to be the new moon in Virgo on September 14th, which will mark the time of the month where we really begin to feel the shift from challenging to positive, meaning Virgo season is probably going to be a challenging time. I'm not gonna lie to you, especially when it comes to your financial world. But this new moon will mark the point within Virgo season where you will make that shift and the doors of clarity will begin to open, where you can say, okay, this has definitely been a rough road, but this is what these challenges have taught me. And you will then start to implement the knowledge from those lessons and then step into a new phase of forward movement, Aries. So Virgo season will be an intense time, to say the least, but you will emerge on the other side of it more capable, more confident, and ready to make the most of the remainder of 2023. So embrace this energetic opening and happy Virgo season, Aries. Okay, my powerful Taurus, when the sun shifts into Virgo for you, this is going to be in your 5th house. So Taurus, this is actually very lucky for you. Virgo season is a difficult time of year for everyone, but at least the challenges for you will be rooted in giving you the opportunity to identify what it is you truly want out of life at this point in time, and what it is that's going to bring you the most fulfillment and the most fun. Now, the 5th house is also an excellent energy for love, Taurus, and Venus will be going direct on September 3rd, so Virgo season may be a time for you where you can connect romantically, which is very exciting if love is something that you've been wanting to manifest. Now, on the same day, August 23rd, that the sun shifts into your 5th house, Mercury will be going retrograde in Virgo, which will also be in your 5th house, and it will be retrograde until September 15th, so keep that in mind. So Taurus, this is actually a very significant opportunity for you to heal any trauma or pain that you've had from childhood, because the 5th house connects you to your inner child. So if you have any circumstances that come up during this time, like conflict with a family member or waves of intense emotion, use these circumstances as a window into why you feel the way that you feel and why you behave the way you behave, and what it is from your childhood that played a large role in manifesting these feelings and behaviors, and then use that information to process and release any emotions or perspectives that you are now realizing hold you back. This Mercury retrograde will be an excellent opportunity for you to finally turn a major corner where you can overcome past experiences and break down any blockages that those experiences may have caused. Also, when Mercury retrograde transits your 5th house, this can also mean that an ex might resurface. So be prepared, Taurus, and remember, if they are not bringing completely new energy and behavior, then more than likely the result of the connection will be the same as it was before. So keep that in mind. Then on August 27th, we have Mars entering Libra, which will be in your 6th house, which will give you a strong boost of energy to get things done at work, but also know that there may be some conflicts that come up with someone that you do work with, but also know that this is just an opportunity to resolve any underlying issues that you may have with this person or that this person may have with you. Now, this Mars transit is also an excellent time to start a workout plan or a health regimen for yourself. So if you have been wanting to make a change in this area, Taurus, just know that August 27th will be an excellent time to start that with a high likelihood for continued success. Then on August 28th, we have Uranus going retrograde in Taurus, which will be in your 1st house, which means that the more you tap into your individuality during this time and stop comparing yourself to other people and stop worrying about, what other people might think about you, the more you can embrace your uniqueness and express your individual creativity with confidence, the more you will really step into a new phase of success and happiness, Taurus. So individuality is your theme. Then on August 30th, we have the full moon in Pisces, which I will do a separate video for, so keep an eye out for that. Then on September 4th, we have the third planet that will be going retrograde, which is Jupiter, that goes retrograde in Taurus as well, which is going to be in your first house, which really goes hand in hand with this Uranus in retrograde transit, because this Jupiter retrograde is bringing about an opportunity for you to create your own luck by stepping outside of your comfort zone, Taurus. We hear all of the time that you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. So this is the time to come out of your shell, Taurus. The planets have aligned for you to heal your inner child, for you to tap into your creativity, for you to embrace your uniqueness. And this Jupiter transit is letting you know that if you take on this challenge with excitement, you will be rewarded with good luck and opportunity. And this will really kick in when the final big transit of Virgo season takes place, which is going to be on September 14th, where the new moon in Virgo comes along. So that will mark the point in Virgo season where you will have been weathering the storm, learning the necessary lessons, and then implementing the tools and perspectives that we've been talking about. And now when the new moon comes along, you can really step into the new chapter where you begin to feel the rewards of your work, and then step into a new momentum of manifesting the vision that you have for yourself, so you can make the most of the remainder of 2023. So Virgo season can be majorly transformative for you, Taurus, where you will face some harsh truths, but you will come out on the other side of this transit more confident, more willing to allow yourself to have a good time, and more authentically you. So embrace this energetic opening, and happy Virgo season, Taurus. Okay, my powerful Geminis, when the sun shifts into Virgo for you, this is going to be in your fourth house. So Gemini, this will be a time where you may feel fed up with where you live, meaning you will either want to move, or you will have already been wanting to move and you may find the place that you've been looking for, or if you have been wanting to move but you can't really afford it just yet, this will be a time where you will be inspired to at least just make some major changes to the setup of your space, so that way it feels more pleasurable for yourself. Also, if you have any unresolved issues with a family member, this will be a time that will be perfect to address those issues, because there's a high likelihood of resolution and positive outcome with this fourth house energy. Now, on the same day, August 23rd, that the sun goes into Virgo, Mercury will be going retrograde in Virgo, which will also be in your fourth house, and it will be retrograde until September 15th. Now, this is going to work very well with the sun in your fourth house, because the sun will help with resolving the issues that Mercury retrograde will be bringing to the surface. So we know Mercury retrograde to cause issues with communication and technology. So for you, Gemini, this will be focused and rooted in situations that deal with your home and family. So be ready for some miscommunications with family members, or for just some things around the house to be going wrong. And just know that when these things are taking place, that there are opportunities to identify the issue or the cause, and then resolve the problem and release any negative emotions connected to the situation. So this is going to be a frustrating time, but a time that will lead to balance and to handling things that have needed tending to for a while. Then on August 27th, Mars will be entering Libra, which will be in your fifth house. So this is a very positive energy for you, Gemini. This will bring more motivation to have fun. It will bring a wave of creativity, but it's also going to bring some aggressive behavior to your romantic relationships. So make sure to have your self-awareness heightened. Otherwise, you may find yourself in a huge conflict that could have been avoided by using solution-oriented communication. So if something does come up during this time, make sure to focus on the solution when communicating, as opposed to focusing on trying to prove who is wrong and who is right, or trying to get revenge. This way you can use this Mars transit for the positive energy it can bring to your world. Then on August 28th, we have Uranus going retrograde in Taurus, which will be in your 12th house. So this means that important messages may be coming your way through signs or dreams, Gemini. So this will be the time to make sure that you listen to your intuition. Also, a meditation routine during this time can be extremely helpful in terms of connecting you to that inner voice. And just make sure that when you do get a feeling about something, that you explore it and you try to get as much provable information as possible before you act on that feeling. Intuition is an excellent source of information, but always get as much of the provable facts as possible before you act. That process will always result in the most productive outcome. Then on August 30th, 30th, we have the full moon in Pisces, which I will be doing a separate video for, so keep an eye out for that, which will lead us to September 4th, where the third and final planet going retrograde, Jupiter, will be going retrograde also in Taurus, which will also be in your 12th house, which could lead to you questioning your spiritual beliefs or expanding your spiritual understanding and belief system. Now, this will also lend to you creating more luck for yourself by connecting to your instincts and trusting them when it comes to what is good for you and what isn't, Gemini. Now, this really further amplifies how beneficial praying or meditating or journaling or all the above and really any spiritual practice is going to be good for you during this time. And this leads us into the final big shift of Virgo season, which will be the new moon in Virgo on September 14th, which will mark the reboot phase, where you will start to feel some positive momentum opening up after the challenges of the first part of Virgo season. So Virgo season is going to be a very intense time for everyone, but the good news is it will serve to give you the opportunity to identify and resolve anything that has been standing in your way or causing blockages in your life, Gemini. So that way, starting September 15th, you could really begin to implement the information that you have learned and really start to step into a new chapter of optimism and excitement and progress. So embrace this energetic opening and happy Virgo season, Gemini. Okay, my powerful Cancerians, when the sun shifts into Virgo for you, this will be in your third house. So Cancers, get ready. This is going to be a time where you will feel busy and it will be very easy for you to feel overwhelmed if you are not prepared. And the best way for you to be prepared is to make sure that you have a daily schedule for yourself, where you start the day with the things that you know keep you balanced and put you in the right headspace. And then make sure that when it comes to your communication throughout Virgo season, that you are clear and concise and you pay attention to the details. By doing this, this could result in this being an excellent time for you when it comes to making new connections and when it comes to making major headway regarding your career goals. Now, this is going to be a challenging season though, because right off the bat, from day one on August 23rd, when the sun shifts into Virgo, Mercury will be going retrograde in Virgo, which will also be in your third house, which is the house that Mercury rules over. And it will stay retrograde until September 14th. So this means that you, more than any other sign, will be dealing with the stereotypical Mercury retrograde drama, like technology issues, communication issues, travel issues. And don't let this scare you. The good news is you're going to be prepared. And by being prepared, you will then be able to avoid these issues, or at least not be negatively affected by them. And by this, I mean, you will be paying extra attention to all communication, and you will be paying extra attention to the details when you're going to be planning, especially when it comes to travel and scheduling. You're going to give yourself extra time to do things, so that way you don't find yourself either forgetting dates or being extra late for things that you would normally not be late for. So preparation is going to be everything for you Cancerians during this time. And also make sure that you're asking the right questions and getting clarity whenever you can. Now on August 27th, Mars will be entering Libra, which will be in your fourth house, which is your natural home, Cancers. So for you, this means if there's any issue with the family member, this issue can be brought more to the forefront, so that way the two of you can resolve it during this time. So if something does come up, use it as an opportunity for connection, not conflict. This Mars transit will also be assisting you in giving you more physical energy overall, which is good news when it comes to getting things done, especially when it comes to getting things done around the home or when it comes to family members. Now on August 28th, we have Uranus going retrograde in Taurus, which will be in your 11th house, which means some friendships may get redefined, which could be a challenging process, but in the end, it will lend to you feeling more secure in your connections. But the good news is about this Uranus retrograde is it could also result in you making new friends that could really prove to be instrumental in helping you manifest the vision that you have for yourself. So make sure and be social during this time, Cancers. It could definitely result in some very good beneficial connections. Then on August 30th, we will have the full moon in Pisces, which I will be making a separate video for, so keep an eye out for that. Following that, we have September 4th, where we have the third planet going retrograde, which is going to be Jupiter in Taurus, which will also be in your 11th house, which may lend to a wave of frustration and a feeling like life isn't fair. And if you start to feel this way, Cancers, remind yourself that even if that is true, even if life isn't fair, focusing on that is not going to get you anywhere other than more frustrated. So take that energy and focus it into the one thing you can control, which is your perspective. And then shift your perspective to areas of your life where you can affect change, and then take action accordingly. Because by doing that, you will begin to create your own luck. So don't give in to negative self-speak or a negative perspective, and you will really find yourself winning this Virgo season, Cancer. And I'm not saying that you have to 100% of the time be Mr. or Mrs. Positive. Because I know we all have moments where life does suck, and you can say life sucks right now. But once you get that out, once you release that energy, refocus. Refocus on where you can affect change. And you can even affect that change if you're in a bad mood. You don't have to be in the best mood. You can just say, if I'm going to be in this mood, at least I can put my energy into something that could lead to something productive, as opposed to just sitting in the madness. And you will especially be happy that you've been taking this perspective, because during the final big shift of Virgo season on September 14th, when the new moon in Virgo comes along, which will also be in your third house, this is going to mark a major shift during Virgo season, where the uphill battle of Virgo season will start to make a turn and then begin opening the doors of opportunity for you. So put in the work during that first period of Virgo season. Face the frustrations, embrace the challenges. And once the new moon comes around and Mercury goes direct, the very next day, it's going to go direct on September 15th, then you're going to start to feel the forward momentum and excitement that will bring you a boost as you step into the final months of 2023. So embrace this energetic opening, Cancers. It's going to be an intense time period, but a time period that can definitely result in some positive change. You got this, and happy Virgo season, Cancers. Okay, my powerful Leos, when the sun shifts into Virgo for you, this will be in your second house. So Leos, right after your season, a time of rebirth and stepping into the renewed, light-infused version of yourself, the next step for you on this journey, this new chapter, is going to be substantiating your relationship with the material world and financial abundance. So everything that takes place for you during this 4-week period of Virgo season will somehow be linked to assisting you in terms of embracing your self-worth, in terms of knocking down any walls or blockages that you might have when it comes to the material world and finances, and opening the floodgates of manifesting when it comes to wealth. Now, on the same exact day, August 23rd, where you will be embarking on creating this new relationship with wealth, Mercury is going to be going retrograde in Virgo, which will also be in your second house. So this means that this is going to work. Mercury will be working hand in hand with the sun in Virgo in the way that any financial issues that need tending to or that need resolution are definitely going to come up, thanks to good old Mercury being in your second house. Also, if there's a relationship dynamic where you need to establish your self-worth and you haven't been being appreciated or it's imbalanced, you can also count on Mercury to bring this issue back around and to the forefront, so that way you can successfully tend to this situation. This is also going to help you get your priorities in line. And by this, I mean, this is going to help you realize what deserves your energy and how much of your energy it deserves, and what doesn't deserve your energy and needs to be downgraded on your list of priorities. So this Mercury retrograde phase for you, Leo, will be less about technological confusion and so much more about clarity in your world of finance and self-worth, which is very exciting. Now, also during Virgo season on August 27th, Mars will be entering Libra, which will be in your third house, which means that you will have a surge of physical energy to get things done, but it also means that you may find yourself being less patient and more aggressive when it comes to communicating. So make sure that when you do communicate and you express your feelings or you express your thoughts, you do so clearly and effectively, but that you also make sure that you are listening as well as sharing. This way you can avoid any unnecessary drama, which will be the last thing anyone needs, especially during Mercury retrograde. Now on August 28th, we have Uranus going retrograde as well in Taurus, which will be in your 10th house. So what that means here, Leos, is that you may find yourself having to fight the power, so to speak, in your professional world. You may find yourself having to make sure that you don't put up with any sort of lack of respect and that you are willing to fight for the greater good of the situation. So when challenges in your professional world arise, just know that this is an opportunity for change, and embrace that change, because it will not be just for the betterment of yourself, but it's also going to be for the betterment of those that you work with as well. Then we will have the full moon in Pisces coming along on August 30th, which I will be doing a separate video for, so be sure to keep an eye out for that. And following the full moon in Pisces, we have the final retrograde of Virgo season, which will be Jupiter going retrograde on September 4th in Taurus, which will also be in your 10th house. So this will actually be working really well with Uranus, because Jupiter retrograde, transiting the 10th house, lends to changing the game in terms of how you approach work. Now, this can be a new approach to a profession that you're already in, or it could mean changing jobs altogether. But what I can tell you, Leo, with certainty is that if you honor what you know is right for you when it comes to your professional world, in terms of what makes you feel excited and appreciated for the gifts that you bring to the job and for the hard work that you bring, if you honor that, then you will create your own luck when it comes to this area of your life, and you will begin to see major shifts in your relationships within your professional world. And this will really begin to take hold during the final big shift of Virgo season, which will be when the moon reaches the new moon phase in Virgo on September 14th, which will also be in your second house, which will mark the day when the difficulties of Virgo season will begin to shift to the rewards of Virgo season. And this is also the day before Mercury goes direct, which is September 15th. So be ready for this to be the shift that opens up the door to a strong forward momentum, especially when it comes to your financial situation, Leos, and your personal self-worth. So Virgo season is going to be an intense 4 weeks, but a very beneficial 4 weeks if you embrace the challenges and use the perspectives that we talked about to make sure you approach these challenges in a way where you will reap the rewards and benefits from those experiences. So embrace this energetic opening, Leos, and happy Virgo season. Okay, my powerful Virgos, it is finally here, your season. And I want to wish all of you beautiful Virgos out there a rebirth phase of clarity, inspiration, confidence, abundance, good times, laughter, and most of all, love. So happy birthday, Virgos. And when the sun shifts into Virgo for you, this is going to be in your first house. So you have the unique gift of Mercury going retrograde on the same day that Virgo season begins. And it will remain retrograde until September 15th. And the reason I say this is a gift is not to be a jerk. It actually truly is a gift, because with the sun being in your first house and with Mercury being retrograde in your first house and Mercury being your ruling planet, you are going to have the very unique opportunity of a planetary alignment that is going to make sure that you do not step out of your season without the opportunity to truly clean house spiritually, mentally, and physically. Mercury retrograde brings anything unresolved back to the surface, and the sun is giving you the opportunity to revise and renew. So be ready for unresolved relationships to come back up so you can resolve them. Be ready for anything involving your personal world that is unresolved to come back up, and be ready for any lack of clarity that you may have been feeling about what your next steps in life should be. Be ready for that lack of clarity to be wiped out. This is going to be a time, Virgo, where you can truly make a major change for the better, but you have to embrace the idea of doing things differently. You are definitely the type of personality that has no problem working hard, and you have no problem identifying what is wrong with something, but your challenge does lie in changing your behavior or changing your perspective. So just know that whatever Mercury retrograde brings up for you, the key to making sure that the result is in your best interest is by using it as an opportunity to look at the situation differently. If you approach any situation with the same mindset that you created it, or the same mindset that you approached it with before when you were dealing with that situation, you will get the same result. Guaranteed. Change is your key to success, Virgo. These energies are in your first house, so the change has to begin with you. Embrace this opportunity for change, and you will absolutely increase the probability of you manifesting the opportunities and manifesting the life that you envision for yourself. Now, on August 27th, Mars will be entering Libra, which is going to be in your second house. So what this will do is it will give you more motivation to attract wealth. And it will not only give you the physical energy, but it will also give you the mental sharpness to go after what it is that you want and then get it. Just make sure when it does come to money that you aren't overspending, because this is a time for identifying the best way for you to budget your money and to come up with a clear plan for yourself, so that way you will start off your rebirth season on the right track when it comes to your relationship with financial abundance. Then on August 28th, we have Uranus going retrograde in Taurus, which will be in your 9th house, which is going to be excellent in terms of assisting you in seeing things differently and from a new perspective, like we were talking about earlier. Just also be aware that this could further amplify the fact that if you do have travel plans, then Mercury retrograde, that energy could really do a number in terms of delays and confusion. So make sure that you plan ahead. Make sure that you give yourself ample time so that way you won't have any major issues like missing a flight. We will also have the full moon in Pisces during your season, Virgo, which will take place on August 30th. And I will be doing a separate video for that, so be sure to keep an eye out. Then on September 4th, we have the third planet going retrograde when Jupiter goes retrograde in Taurus, which will also be in your 9th house. And this Jupiter transit indicates that you will do best by not allowing the frustration of certain details to take you off course, Virgo. So this is tricky because with Mercury being retrograde, of course, it's really important to pay attention to the details. But with Jupiter retrograde, this is basically urging you to make sure that when it comes to achieving your goals, you have to think big picture. Don't hold yourself back because of a small detail that's annoying you. Handle things as they come up, yes, but do not postpone progress because of a small detail that isn't as important when you look at the big picture. This is really going to help you when it comes to you achieving your goals. And this will take us into the next major shift of your season, which is going to be the new moon in Virgo, which comes along on September 14th, which is also the day before Mercury goes direct. And this new moon will be in your first house. So Virgo, this is the time where you will feel the shift from things feeling like an uphill battle. You will feel that shift to a forward momentum of success and abundance. So of course, your entire season is definitely going to be positive energy for you. But with the planetary lineup being what it is, you can look at the beginning of your season as more of an exciting phase of challenges and opportunities for growth. And as it progresses, you can find those doors opening and the rewards from facing those challenges and the clarity that comes from facing those challenges, you can feel that coming your way. And that sort of energy will really hit a strong momentum on and then after the new moon. So this is going to be an exciting 4 weeks of change and expansion for you Virgos out there. So embrace this energetic opening. Happy birthday and happy Virgo season. Okay, my powerful Libras, when the sun shifts into Virgo for you, this will be in your 12th house. So Libra, following Leo season, which was a pretty energetic, busy time for you with a lot of outward activity, this 12th house energy in the 4 weeks of Virgo season is going to consist of a lot of inner work and inwardly directed energy. So as you step into this Virgo season, look at it as a spiritual retreat where you are meant to do some physical, mental, and emotional cleansing. And because this is the theme for you during Virgo season, you will find that this actually works hand in hand with the Mercury retrograde energy that also begins on the first day of Virgo season, August 23rd, when Mercury goes retrograde in Virgo, which will also be in your 12th house. The reason this Mercury retrograde energy works hand in hand with the sun is because when Mercury transits the 12th house, it is much less about the typical Mercury retrograde influences like technology issues or car trouble or travel plans being delayed. Now, I'm not saying that those types of things are not going to happen, but this Mercury retrograde for you is much more about bringing to the surface the deep-rooted emotions from your subconscious in order for those emotions to be faced, processed, and then released. So Libra, if during this Mercury retrograde energy from August 23rd to September 14th, when Mercury goes direct, if during that time you find yourself feeling emotionally drained or tired, don't be hard on yourself. That is actually part of the process, and just use that as an indication that you need to rest. Give yourself the time and the space to be alone with your thoughts and allow the emotions that are coming up to come up, so that way you can release them. See this Mercury retrograde phase as an opportunity to identify any unresolved issues, and anything that comes up for you during this time, whether it be emotionally or situationally, whatever comes up, just know that it is an opportunity to get to know yourself better. Use this time and the things that occur during this time as a window into who you are at this point in your life in terms of what is best for you and what works for you and what inspires you, what you need to release and what it is you truly want. Now, during this Virgo season on August 27th, we also have Mars entering Libra, which will be in your first house, which is going to be very helpful in terms of bringing a surge of motivation and confidence, which will actually be a great balance to the 12th house Mercury retrograde energy and the sun's energy. Just make sure that during this time, you don't act too impulsively. Any decisions that you make, take your time to get to the conclusion of what is best for you in terms of all the available information that you have, not just based on how you feel in that moment. Then we have Uranus going retrograde on August 28th in Taurus, which will be in your 8th house. So if you are in a relationship, Libra, Uranus retrograde will serve to bring clarity to the balance of power in that relationship. So if you by chance feel powerless in any way, this will be a time where a very positive shift can be made, either by effective communication and setting boundaries, or by realizing that it is time for the relationship to come to an end. Now, if you are single, this 8th house Uranus retrograde will assist you in asserting your power in your day-to-day life, be it with friendships, with work relationships, or if you are a people pleaser, this will help you to balance that energy with making sure that your needs are being met as well, which is a fantastic shift to make as you step into the remainder of 2023. Then on August 30th, we have the full moon in Pisces, which I will be doing a separate video for, so keep an eye out for that. Then on September 4th, we have Jupiter going retrograde in Taurus, which will also be in your 8th house. And this indicates that the more you can open up and be vulnerable and address any trust issues that you may have, Libra, the more you will be rewarded with new opportunities. And you will find that by opening up and allowing yourself to trust, you will be rewarded with an overall feeling of optimism and excitement for the relationships that you create as you step into this next phase of your life. And this will also be leading up to the final big shift of Virgo season, when the new moon in Virgo comes along on September 14th, which will be the day before Mercury goes direct on September 15th. And this new moon, which is also in your 12th house, is going to be the point in Virgo season where all of the hard work that you've been doing during Virgo season will begin to shift into less of a heavy work-based feeling to a lighthearted manifesting momentum. So Libra, overall, Virgo season is going to be a challenging time, but with such incredible rewards in terms of you emerging on the other side of this energy with a renewed perspective, with excitement and confidence for the energy of the present moment and for what the future holds. So embrace this energetic opening, and happy Virgo season, Libras. Okay, my powerful Scorpios, when the sun shifts into Virgo for you, this will be in your 11th house. So Scorpios, you are in luck here, because Virgo season is a difficult time for everyone. But for you, this Virgo energy will be transiting through your 11th house, which is the house of friendships and making social connections. And it's also the house of dreams coming true. So this can actually be a very positive 4-week period for you. The tricky thing about this Virgo season is on the exact same day that the sun enters Virgo on August 23rd, Mercury will be going retrograde in Virgo and will stay retrograde until September 15th. So this Mercury retrograde will also be in your 11th house. And what this means for you is if there are any friendships that have been on the rocks, or if there's a friendship or relationship that you've had an issue with that needs resolving, this issue will amplify. So this way you can have the opportunity to address it and resolve it. It could also indicate that someone that you met in the past as an acquaintance may be coming back around, and the relationship could deepen to a more substantial friendship, and they may also play an important role in assisting you when it comes to realizing your dreams, Scorpio. And speaking of dreams, this Mercury retrograde energy may also indicate a time where you will take a look at your goals and at your life and what you really want. And you may find in this process that something that you've wanted for a very long time, you may no longer want. Or you may find that something that you have wanted that you let go of for a while, that desire is coming back around, and now you have the clarity and the drive to really go after it. It will be important though, once you have the clarity, to hold off a bit on making any major decisions until Mercury goes direct on the 15th. But just know when it comes to your goals, you're gonna know what goals you want to let go of, and you're gonna know what goals you want to embrace. So that way you have clarity moving forward. So this Mercury retrograde for you, Scorpio, will be a major time of clarity when it comes to your life goals, and a time of resolution when it comes to your relationships, especially your friendships. Also during Virgo season, we have Mars shifting into Libra on August 27th, which will be in your 12th house, which indicates a time where a situation from the past may be coming back around. And when I say come back around, I'm basically talking about a lesson from a past experience that may now become very clear to you, which actually works hand in hand with Mercury retrograde in terms of bringing more clarity. This Mars transit may also lend to you feeling much more like working alone, or taking more time to yourself to really be with your thoughts. And if you get this urge, don't resist it. It's an opportunity to connect to important information, especially when it comes to your intuition, your creativity, and the knowledge of what your next steps should be. So meditation, prayer, maybe getting a reading, journaling. All these types of activities can really serve to be very productive during this time, Scorpio. Then on August 28th, we have Uranus going retrograde in Taurus, which will be in your 7th house. So if you're in a relationship, Scorpio, do not be surprised if you get an overwhelming need for more freedom. And this isn't a bad thing. This is just giving you the opportunity to establish a positive balance when it comes to partnership and individuality. If you're single, this still applies, but in terms of bringing you the opportunity for balance when it comes to spending time alone and thriving in your own space, while also spending time with your friends and feeding your personality and energy in that way. Finding a healthy balance between those two dynamics is going to be the theme. So if you find that your friends are busier than usual, it doesn't mean that they have an issue with you or that they're avoiding you. It just means the universe is bringing you the opportunity to deepen the relationship that you have with yourself and your independence. Then on August 30th, we have the full moon in Pisces, which I will be doing a separate video for, so keep an eye out for that. On September 4th, we have Jupiter going retrograde also in Taurus, which will also be in your 7th house, which means that you may actually have an opportunity to connect with someone romantically, and this connection could have a strong possibility for long-term success. Now, Venus will have gone direct at this point, and although Mercury will still be retrograde, this Jupiter retrograde energy in your 7th house is a strong indication of romantic love. So if you are single and looking for love, keep your heart open to this sort of experience. And if you're in a relationship, this Jupiter retrograde energy could indicate you meeting someone of significance, but you may not really like them initially, and then you may find that eventually you could become really good friends. So keep your awareness heightened for that sort of interaction as well. Then we have the final big transit of Virgo season when the new moon in Virgo comes along on September 14th, which will mark the point in Virgo season where the energy is less about lesson learning or identifying what areas of your life may need some attention, and it will be much more about a surge of positive momentum and manifesting. So look at this first part of Virgo season as a testing phase, Scorpio, and then the remainder of Virgo season as a reward phase, the time where you step into the renewed energy based on everything that you have learned up to that point. So overall, Scorpios, this is going to be a very positive time for you because you will emerge on the other side of this Virgo season with new friendships, with deeper relationships, feeling more connected to those people that are already in your life, and more clarity when it comes to your hopes and dreams, and a new excitement and optimism for what lies ahead when it comes to the remainder of 2023. So embrace this energetic opening, and happy Virgo season, Scorpios. Okay, my powerful Sagittarians, when the sun shifts into Virgo for you, this is going to be in your 10th house. So Sagittarius, this is going to be an excellent 4-week period for you because you like to be busy and you like to make money. And basically that is exactly what this 4-week period is going to look like for you. Now this will be tricky though, because on the same day that the sun shifts into Virgo, which is August 23rd, Mercury will be going retrograde in Virgo, which will also be in your 10th house. So this means that the sun will be supporting success when it comes to your professional world and your public image, while Mercury will be making sure that you have clarity in this area of your life. And if there's any unresolved issues in this area, Mercury will be making sure that you have the opportunity to resolve them. So this means that if you have any issues with someone that you work with, these issues will be amplified in order to resolve them. This also means that if you are by any chance in a profession that you don't like, or if you have a job that you don't like, this dislike that you have is also going to be amplified in order to give you the opportunity to either address the issue so that way the job becomes more pleasurable for you, or you may just decide that you want to change jobs altogether. Either way, the sun and Mercury are going to be working together. So you may find that the first part of this retrograde will be bringing a little bit of stress and frustration, but if you use this stress and frustration as a window into what needs to be addressed, you will find that by the end of this Mercury retrograde, which goes direct on September 15th, you will find that you have clarity and confidence and excitement around what the future holds for you professionally. Now, if by chance you find this Mercury retrograde seems to be bringing setbacks or blockages to your goals or professional world, just know that being adaptable is going to be your key to turning any frustration into fuel. Know that everything that takes place during this Virgo season is the universe's way of making sure that you not only can handle any lingering issues that need to be handled, but it's also making sure that you come out on the other side of this Virgo season on the right path to success and financial fulfillment and abundance. Now, also during Virgo season on August 27th, Mars will be entering Libra, which will be in your 11th house. So this indicates that you don't have to do it all alone, Sagittarius. The more you work in a group or as part of a team, the more successful you are going to be. Now, if by chance you find yourself in the leadership role of a team, the more you can empower those on your team to do what they've been brought in to do, the more successful the team will be and the more successful you will be. So keep that in mind, Sagittarius. Then on August 28th, Uranus will be going retrograde in Taurus, which will be in your 6th house. So this indicates that if you have felt like you have been in a rut in any way, this is time for you to change things up, Sagittarius. The more you change up the energy of your daily activities, the more this will result in a major shift in what you manifest and in your life overall. So this is going to be an opportunity to get out of whatever rut you may have been in and get back to that vision of yourself that is thriving and excited for what the future holds. Now on August 30th, we will have the full moon in Pisces, which I will be doing a separate video for, so keep an eye out for that. Then on September 4th, we have Jupiter going retrograde in Taurus, which will also be in your 6th house. So this indicates that it will be working with Uranus in the way that the more you do change up your daily routine and the more you implement a new health regimen for yourself, the more successful you will not only be in your professional world, but in your personal and spiritual world, Sagittarius. So you'll be feeling better, you'll be doing better in life, and you'll just have an overall better emotional disposition. So now is the time to get on track mentally, physically, and spiritually, Sagittarius, which is the perfect message for the final big shift of Virgo season, which will be the new moon in Virgo that will be taking place in your 10th house on September 14th. So look at this first part of Virgo season as a boot camp where you will be facing all of that retrograde energy, which will be excellent for resolving any unresolved issues and for getting clarity on your life overall. And just know, boot camp is not easy, but as we step into the momentum of the new moon, you will find a shift from that boot camp type energy to the rewards and forward movement based on the strength and confidence that you have achieved from going through that boot camp process. Now, this energy will serve to assist you when it comes to stepping into your power for the remainder of 2023. So Virgo season is going to be a major shift for the better, Sagittarius. It's not going to be an easy 4 weeks by any means, but it will be a rewarding 4 weeks. But just know, like I said in the beginning, throughout this process, throughout this challenging boot camp, you will be having opportunities to make more money, to make more forward movement when it comes to your professional goals and career, and to get an upgrade in how you're being viewed by the people that you work with and by the public in general. So embrace this energetic opening and happy Virgo season, Sagittarius. Okay, my powerful Capricorns, when the sun shifts into Virgo for you, this is going to be in your 9th house. So Capricorn, this is going to be a much more uplifting and expansive time in comparison to Leo season. Because I don't know about all of you, but I definitely had some challenges and realizations to face during Leo season. So Virgo season is going to be a time of year, Capricorns, where things make a major turn for the better in terms of opening new doors of opportunity, and you will be reaching new understandings about yourself and about life. Now, Virgo season overall can be a complicated time for everyone because Virgo energy is all about improvement, and as you know, improvement usually is executed by identifying where there is lack, and identifying lack in areas of life that are less than desirable isn't necessarily a good time experience. However, being that this Virgo season is transiting your 9th house, for you Capricorns out there, this should prove to be an overall positive 4 weeks for you. Now, the tricky thing about this Virgo season is on the same day that the sun goes into Virgo on August 23rd, Mercury will also be going retrograde in Virgo, which will be in your 9th house as well, and it will remain in retrograde until September 15th when it goes direct. Now, the good news is this Mercury retrograde will be working hand in hand with the sun to make sure that anything that does need to be tended to is tended to, and it will be clear what those actions that you need to take are going to be. So if you find yourself asking yourself, what is life all about? What is the purpose? What is your purpose? What should your next steps be? Then embrace this line of thinking, because this is the right time of year for you to be exploring these ideas with a high likelihood of answering these questions with confidence and with clarity, which will then lead to you making decisions moving forward that will really begin a strong momentum of manifesting when it comes to the renewed vision that you have for yourself. Now, the one thing that isn't so great about this Mercury retrograde is due to the fact that it is in your 9th house. If you do have any travel planned during this time, it is highly likely that you will experience delays or complications with plans. So if you do have travel planned, make sure to pay extra attention to the details. Make sure to give yourself enough time prior to travel and after travel, so this way you can avoid any frustrating consequences. But overall, this Mercury retrograde will definitely play a major role in shining a light on the way of thinking that you might have that gets in the way of your progress, and the sun's energy will support you embracing the new frame of mind that will really help you shift gears into a strong, expansive momentum, Capricorns. Now, also during Virgo season on August 27th, we have Mars shifting into Libra, which will be in your 10th house, which is the house you feel right at home at, Capricorn. So this is good news because this means this will bring a strong momentum in terms of physical energy and mental clarity to really help you make some headway in your professional world. Just make sure when it comes to communication with coworkers that you take your time, not only when it comes to explaining yourself, but also when it comes to listening to what the people that you work with have to say. And when it comes to that communication, make sure you're asking any necessary questions for clarity along the way. This way you can avoid any unnecessary conflict or confusion. But just know this Mars energy is a very positive transit for you. Then on August 28th, we have Uranus going retrograde in Taurus, which is going to be in your 5th house. And this energy is coming along with the purpose of reminding you to have fun. It is definitely a fact that you can take life too seriously at times and forget to have fun in the process. So Uranus is urging you to allow yourself to step a bit outside of your usual energy and take a walk on the wild side. This energetic disposition is the time where you might find that these sort of activities could lead to a new appreciation for life overall, and it could also serve to elevate your overall vibration. Then on August 30th, we have the full moon in Pisces, which I will be doing a separate video for, so keep an eye out for that. Then on September 4th, we have Jupiter going retrograde also in Taurus, which will be in your 5th house as well. So this will be working with Uranus retrograde in the way that Jupiter is letting you know that the more you do allow yourself to have fun and the more you do activities outside your comfort zone, then the more you will be creating your own luck. So Capricorns, if you have any opportunities to explore activities that are outside of your comfort zone, take those opportunities because they could very well open new doors for you. Now, this will then lead us to the final big shift of Virgo season, which will be on September 14th when the new moon in Virgo comes along, which will also be in your 9th house. And this is also the day before Mercury goes direct on the 15th. So this new moon will be marking the point in Virgo season where your momentum will really pick up, Capricorns, and you will feel yourself stepping into a strong, positive phase for the remainder of 2023. So overall, Virgo season will be a time that may start out with a few bumps, but these bumps will serve to elevate your consciousness. So this way, by the end of Virgo season, you will be feeling renewed. You will be feeling optimistic about where you are and what lies ahead. So embrace this energetic opening and happy Virgo season, Capricorns. Okay, my powerful Aquarians, when the sun shifts into Virgo for you, this is going to be in your 8th house. So Aquarius, after a time focused on relationships and connection, you will be stepping into a 4-week period of spiritual exploration. The 8th house sun energy really brings a focus to self-mastery in terms of you having the once-a-year opportunity to identify the habits, the thought patterns, and even the connections that you have with others that have run their course and need to be transformed, and maybe even need to be replaced with new habits and new thought patterns and connections that support and uplift you and your progress in life. Now, the tricky thing about this Virgo season is that on the very same day, on August 23rd, where the sun shifts into Virgo, Mercury will be going retrograde in Virgo, which will also be in your 8th house. So Mercury will be working with the sun, amplifying these areas of your life that need attention, because this is that time of year that if you decide to make changes, those changes will stick. Now, you just came out of that 4-week period focused on relationships, so you will be very clear on the type of energy that you attract. And if you have been attracting a specific type of individual, this 8th house Mercury retrograde and sun energy is the perfect time to identify why. Process that information and then apply that information so that way you can begin to attract an energy that is much more reflective of who you are at your core and what is best for you. Also know that the 8th house brings a strong focus focus to your financial world. So if this is a source of stress or if money is a challenging topic for you, great, because the 8th house Mercury retrograde and sun energy will help you identify where there are imbalances or blockages in this area and how you can transform that energy. So overall, Aquarius, this Mercury retrograde for you is about gaining a deep understanding of what is out of balance in your life, and the sun in the 8th house will be bringing the information on how to balance it. So this is going to be an intense but very beneficial and even life-changing time for you, Aquarius, if you allow it to be. So embrace the challenge and you will come out on the other side of this Virgo season with clarity and excitement. Now, during this Virgo season, we also have Mars shifting into Libra on August 27th, which will be in your 9th house. And this is actually a very positive energy for you, Aquarius, because this will bring motivation to expand your awareness, and it will also bring opportunities to open your mind to new ways of thinking, which will be the perfect disposition to complement the work that you will be doing with the sun and Mercury in your 8th house. Then on August 28th, we have Uranus going retrograde in Taurus, which will be in your 4th house. So expect some major changes to take place when it comes to your family dynamic or to your household, Aquarius. And just know that even though these changes may be difficult, they will come with hidden blessings. So the more you can surrender to what is, the more you will be able to weather any storm that comes your way during that time. So remember, adaptability, accepting what is, then adapting, and then making the best decision based on the circumstances. Then on August 30th, we have the full moon in Pisces, which I will be doing a separate video for, so keep an eye out for that. Then we have Jupiter going retrograde on September 4th, also in Taurus, which will also be in your 4th house. So this will be going hand in hand with that Uranus retrograde energy in the way that connecting more with family and exploring the roots of who you are, that will be not only opening new doors of understanding for you, but it will also be helping you grow spiritually, and it will also help you to give yourself the opportunity to resolve certain karma, which will lead to opening a stronger channel to manifest the life that you envision for yourself without blockages that may have been in the way up until this point. Then we have the final major shift of Virgo season, which will be the new moon in Virgo. And this will be such a welcomed shift for you, Aquarius, because this will be the time where you will finally feel like you can relax on learning the lessons that life is bringing your way. And then you can just capitalize on the excitement of where these understandings in terms of what these lessons have taught you, where that information can take you. So Aquarius, just know that Virgo season is a time of year that is a bit challenging for everyone, because Virgo energy is about identifying issues and then finding the most effective way to improve the situation. But just know for you, this will be a 4-week period of major enlightenment that will result in you feeling more empowered and you feeling more confident, and then having an even stronger connection to the reality that you wish to manifest for yourself. So embrace this energetic opening, and happy Virgo season, Aquarius. Okay, my powerful Pisces, when the sun shifts into Virgo for you, this will be in your 7th house. So Pisces, get ready for a roller coaster. This is the 4 weeks of your polar opposite energy. So this will diminish the Pisces energy in your chart. So be ready to feel a bit off balance during this 4-week period. But now that you know, you can make sure to do the things that help you recalibrate and that help you stay on track. And you will also know, as you navigate these 4 weeks, that if you are feeling a lack of energy or if you are easily being triggered, you will know to take a breath and say to yourself, I'm not my usual self right now, so let me take a little extra time to assess the situation and then decide the best way to move forward that will be in your soul's best interest. This will keep you from being reactive, and it will also keep you grounded in your higher self. And this will be so important because the 7th house is the house of relationships. So during this 4-week period, the relationships in your life more than likely are going to be asking for more of your energy. And not only that, but on the same day that the sun shifts into Virgo, which will be August 23rd, on that same day, Mercury will be going retrograde in Virgo and will remain retrograde until September 15th. And this will also be in your 7th house. So be ready for any past issues regarding relationships to come back up. Now, this can be any unresolved issues that need resolution, like business relationships that might need renegotiating, or friendships where there may have been an issue lingering that needs addressing. And this can also be romantic relationships that have an issue that need to be addressed. And because of this Mercury retrograde energy being in your 7th house, Pisces, this could also mean that an ex could be resurfacing. And if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know how I feel about about exes. If they show up, the decision on whether or not you are going to entertain this energy should 100% be based on if they are approaching you with a completely different energy in terms of how they are communicating, and more importantly, in terms of how they are behaving. So keep that in mind, Pisces. Remember, actions speak so much louder than words, and you do not want to have to learn the same lesson twice. So the beauty of this Mercury retrograde and the sun being in the same house is that you will be clear on what needs to be addressed, because Mercury will be sure to bring these things to the forefront, and the sun will make sure that you know how to address them in terms of what action is most productive for you to take in terms of getting closure and resolution. Also during Virgo season on August 27th, Mars will be entering Libra, which will be in your 8th house. So this could bring into focus any situation where you have joint finances with someone. So be ready to face that situation head on. This will also bring about a stronger urge for physical connection and intimacy. So whatever you do, don't let that urge cloud your judgment in terms of who deserves your energy and who doesn't, Pisces. A good rule of thumb is always asking yourself, are you getting as much from a certain connection as you are giving? The answer to that will either give you a green light or a bright red light. Then proceed accordingly based on which light you're seeing. Then on August 28th, Uranus will be going retrograde in Taurus, which will be in your 3rd house. So this will more than likely give you the opportunity to clarify a statement that you made in the past. So this will be a positive energy to assist you with Mercury retrograde, because whatever does come up with one of those relationships from the Mercury retrograde in your 7th house energy, this Uranus retrograde energy will assist you in giving you the opportunity to explain your perspective and point of view more effectively, which will help in terms of leading to resolution. Then on August 30th, we have the full moon in Pisces coming along, which for sure is going to be a welcomed energy for you. And I'll be doing a separate video for that, but just know it's going to be a very positive energy. So keep an eye out for that video. Then on September 4th, Jupiter will be going retrograde in Taurus, which will also be in your 3rd house. And this will actually be working with Uranus retrograde in the way that the more honest and direct that you are with how you express yourself, in terms of how you truly feel and what you truly think about something when you're communicating with others, the more good fortune you will be bringing your way. So Pisces, the theme for you during all of this retrograde energy is be honest, be direct. Don't hold back. And if you find that you feel misunderstood in some way, do not shut down. Instead, take the time to explain yourself. Be patient with others and with yourself, and make sure that clarity in communication is at the top of your priority list. This will assist you in making sure that this Virgo season and all of this retrograde energy will result in positive resolution and forward movement. And this will take us into the final big transit of Virgo season, which will be the new moon in Virgo that will be coming along on September 14th, which will also be in your 7th house. And this will be the day right before Mercury goes direct. So this is going to mark the time of this 4-week period, the time in Virgo season, where you will start to see the bright, optimistic light at the end of the tunnel, because any challenging energy that comes up for you during Virgo season, this new moon will begin to assist you in making sense of it all. And it will also start to bring the rewards that will be coming your way from meeting those challenges with excitement and with the intention of being your best self when it comes to processing each and every situation in a way that is in your soul's best interest and from a place of connection and love. So Pisces, this is going to be an intense 4 weeks, but if you keep the right consciousness, this can be a 4-week period that's really going to assist you in making some major changes. It's going to assist you with a clearer perspective and bringing more confidence your way, and as a result bringing a stronger momentum moving forward as you step into the remainder of 2023. So embrace this energetic opening, and happy Virgo season, Pisces. Okay, so there you have it. What to expect for love and your life overall during this Virgo season from August 23rd to September 23rd. So let's stay focused on making the choices that lead to the actions that support your truth and will assist you in manifesting the things that you desire and definitely deserve. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget the baby tap. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. If you'd like to become a member, please consider checking that out as well. Thank you so much for taking the time to come and hang out with me. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.